I have excellent Wi-Fi service tonight. We are so excited to be really bringing to you what I know for many of you guys on the line was a truly transformative, life-changing event that we had almost 2 weeks ago. We left 2 weeks ago on Thursday for the GoPro Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing event that was in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I was really privileged to go last year. I had one team member with me, and this year we had 14 people on our team. And it was so exciting not only to be there all over again, but to really experience this event through their eyes. And so what we thought we would do tonight, because it's such a wonderful thing to not only recap, but I really wanted to have some of the women share what they're doing differently since they went to this event, because we can certainly recap. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys attended, and many of you also have access to the live stream, which I so encourage you to watch. You know, I was watching Denny Christensen again today as I was getting ready for this call. She was someone that really struck me this year. And I wrote down a couple of things that I'll close with. But I really wanted you guys to hear from some of the women who attended what changed for them and how are they doing things differently in their businesses, because that's really where the rubber meets the road, is how we come back and apply what we've learned. You know, notes are great, but if we don't take those notes out of our notebook and start to apply them into our business and our daily lives, then the whole event was worthless. And I know we all invest, you know, our time and our finances into these events. And as we think about conference and what's to come in the next 37 days, I really encourage you guys to get into this mindset. So I am first going to ask Caprice Krebar, who I see in my screen here, who is a senior sales coordinator in my team. She's been with Juice Plus for over 10 years. She's awesome, and she's got a great team, and I know a couple of the gals are on the line. This was her first GoPro event, so I would love to turn it over to you and get your thoughts on how things have shifted for you since attending this event. And you actually had the privilege of also going to one of Eric Worre's special dinners, so we're excited to hear from you tonight.
Yeah, I have nice blue glare on my glasses.
So Caprice, hang on. Caprice,
yes.
Hang on 1 second. We can hear people talking.
Okay.
So if you're somebody talking and you're not Caprice, it means that you're not muted. So would you please mute yourself? Okay. And if you do hear people talking behind and it gets distracting, Caprice, I give you permission to ask them to mute themselves.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, I did make myself some notes here. It was absolutely amazing. I recommend that everybody go next year. It's such the Juice Plus conferences are amazing as well. There's something about being in a group of thousands of women representing all different companies across the network marketing industry. No one knew what each other did. We weren't allowed to talk about that, but it was just really incredible to hear that these tools they get applied to successful people all throughout the industry. So there's a few that I really took away, things that I could use right away. And one of them was this ball of energy, Jessica Haynes. And she said that your belief in yourself and your product, just steadfast belief, is energy, and you project that energy. So Lisa taught me this years ago. She said you want to have an unshakable belief. And this is basically what she was saying, that when you are so confident in the gift that Juice Plus is, people feel that energy. It's an aura that you walk around with. And the energy you put out is what you attract. And belief attracts belief. So if you have a steadfast, rock-solid belief, the people that interact with you, they'll take on that belief as well. So an example of this is I was talking to one of my team members who's fairly new, and she's, of course, building relationships and trying to attract business. And, you know, I've been doing this for 11 years now, so my confidence is great, but I started back square one as well. So everybody has to learn this. But we went to a networking group just this week, a chamber meeting. There were about 40 people there. And I can't tell you how many people were just attracted. I met somebody for 1 minute walking in the parking lot who wanted information on Juice Plus. I had right after I made a beeline to this, was the president of a stroke foundation, and I got one of the best phone calls I've ever had in my 11 years today with these people who followed up with me. And it just seems like when you put that belief out there, there's business everywhere, and it comes to you. So I think that energy is critical, and that was her main point. She also said to be relentless. Whoops, I'm hearing lots of like pans clanking. Anybody? Okay, good. I'll leave her point was be relentless in your pursuit of greatness. You have a purpose in this world. Everybody does, and don't be ashamed of that. Be proud, be a strong believer in what you do and have to offer. And that energy will be showered, throughout the world. Another person that I loved was Chelsea Kenyon, and she recommended stop trying to be perfect. Do YouTube videos, do Facebook Lives, just as you are. It's more duplicatable. When people see that, and Lisa's great at this, she comes from working out of the gym, and, she doesn't care how she looks, and everybody respects and loves her regardless of whether she has her hair up or down. So that just be you, because people love that. That's genuine, and people love and appreciate that, and then they know that they don't have to be perfect either when they're doing this business. There was a panel on social media. One of my friends, actually the president of the HeartLink Network, was one of them, and so it was really fun to see her up there. But one of the people said, in social media, and I do this all the time, and I recommend it, in the Facebook groups. You might be in a mom's group or a group there's one for Crohn's and colitis and groups like that. You never want to go in there and start posting about your product. They really frown upon that. It's really strategic when you're in those groups. So what they were saying is get in the groups and be a genuine participant. When people are posting about anything, be helpful. If it has nothing to do with nutrition, I'm in the group, I'll reply and say, hey, you can get that there. They will start to know, and you can drip by answering about nutrition and dropping Juice Plus when people are asking, my kid's always sick, how do I get him to eat more fruits and vegetables? And then over time, people in the group start to respect you because you're genuine and you're not just in there trying to sell. So that was the main thing I got from that, and I've been doing that more and more. And in fact, today, in one of the groups, somebody actually asked, Juice Plus reps, my kid's got a horrible fever and I've heard great things about it. Where can I get it? Somebody I don't even know tagged me. And that's because I built a reputation in the group of not just being somebody there to use the group. People who don't even know me know that I'm a Juice Plus rep and tag me. So that's the kind of relationship that you want to create in those groups to help you make more friends and generate more leads and get referrals. There was a woman named Chelsea Husband. She is awesome, young. All these people are, 6-figure, 7-figure, some 8-figure income earners, and some of them have done it very quickly. I think this girl is only 4 years in, but she said, make a decision to be consistent and diligent with your business. She said the difference is really mindset. And I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to look at this picture I took today with the verbiage in it. She said, take a mother. There's 2 different mindsets. One mother says, I can't do it. I have 3 kids, a husband. We're behind on bills and credit cards. I'm working 40 plus hours a week. It's just not realistic. Mom 2 says, I have 3 kids. I'm working 40 hours a week, blah, 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 all the exact same stuff. But she says, so I have to do this and I'm going to succeed. So same exact life, but it's the mindset and the attitude that makes the difference and makes the success happen. She also said, be pleasantly persistent. Most people miss out on a sale. Oh no, this was actually Susan Sly. She had an incredible, difficult, challenging life, and she overcome all this, and she's a multi-million-dollar income earner. And she said, most people miss out on a sale because they gave up too soon. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups. 63% of people who request information from you won't purchase for 3 months. 20% take over 12 months or more. So embrace the no, because it just means that they aren't ready yet. And do not quit, because if you quit at number 4, reach out number 4, then all that work you did, somebody else is going to get them on the 5th, the first time that they reach out if you quit. So you never want to quit. There was another woman, Denise Chenault. She said, dress up, show up. An example of that is this chamber meeting this week I got invited to. I really didn't feel like going, and I knew that one of my team members was going to be there, but I'm supporting her. And so I at the last minute, I thought, you know what, I should just go. I'll just go. And I'm so glad I went, because I have 3 strong leads, and I got the phone call today from the Stroke Foundation, who says that Juice Plus is the perfect thing they've been searching for to provide in their education about preventing stroke and heart disease. So it was amazing. And if I didn't go, now Vanessa and I are both going to work that account together, because there's lots of events. So it was just, don't ever not go. Just dress up and show up. And then Jesse said, love in this business is huge. Love your products, love your customers, and love on your team hard. You genuinely want everyone to win. You want that to be so genuine. It can't be about you. And you want to let them feel you feeling them. That's really how you should interact with all the people, is let them feel you feeling them. Listen to them. Be genuinely interested in them. And that will reap rewards for yourself. Melanie Green, I love this. This is more of a business advice, not relating to relationships with customers. But she said, don't be an asshole. So ASK hole. So be resourceful with your business. Your leaders will point you to the tools, and be resourceful and seek out your needs through those tools. Don't continue asking without searching first. And it's perfectly okay to ask if you've exhausted your search and you can't find something, especially if you're new. But I love that term, don't be an asshole, be resourceful. Lastly, Denise Chenault said, I thought this was fascinating, and I'm using texting. Almost 95% of my communication, my invites are through texting. And I didn't know these statistics, though, and I think everyone should memorize these numbers and start texting more. She said that out of 100 texts, you'll make 40 appointments, and you'll get 12 customers and 4 team members. And that's pretty consistent. So just shoot for 100 a week. I mean, that's not difficult. Pull out your memory joggers and just go down. And it doesn't have to be brand new people each week, because we all know not everybody goes to the first event you invite them to. So if you're just consistent at follow-up and initial conversations, and you do 100 a week, you're going to end up with those numbers, and your team's going to grow really fast. So there was so much more, but those were some of the key takeaways that I had. I could talk for hours.
Awesome, Caprice. Thank you so much. That was great, and just brings me back to all these awesome things that we learned. So next I want to introduce Cheryl Schubert. Cheryl is a sales coordinator in Colorado. She doesn't live in the part of Colorado where Mitra Ray is, so she was kind enough to stay up a little bit later and share with us tonight. Well, actually, it's not that much later. So Cheryl, this was a big event for you, and I know a lot shifted for you, and I've been seeing and hearing from you all, last week and this week. Cheryl has a very, very full-time job. She works, she has a very big job in a technology firm. It's very demanding. She travels all the time. She just moved into a new house. Cheryl's had a lot of life going on, but what I love and appreciate about Cheryl is that she stays consistent and she stays plugged into the things that are important. She never misses conference. And so Cheryl, I would love to hear from you how this really changed your business, because I know that it did.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So as Lisa mentioned, I've got a lot going on in my life, not that everybody else doesn't, but because of that, I tend to be very focused, very direct, get down to business really quickly in my conversations, and that doesn't always work when you're trying to build relationships. So one of the biggest takeaways I had was focus on connections and being real. One of the speakers talked about, even after the third meeting, they hadn't brought up the business to their prospect, because they were cultivating that relationship and building the relationship before they went in for the next step in the relationship. So, one of the things to think about is, what does the person you're talking to need? What is their pain point? What is it they need a solution for? And keep asking until you find out, and be genuinely interested in them and how you can serve them. And it might not be that Juice Plus might not be the first thing they need, but we know it will eventually be something they need. But there may be other ways you can help them and build trust and build a relationship with them to maintain that connection, and get really good at adding value to people just in life. Can you, as Caprice mentioned, on Facebook, is there something somebody needs? You can provide that value to them. Someone at school who needs a sitter for the afternoon, watch their kids for an hour. Something you can do to add value to people that isn't necessarily about the product or the business. And as you talk to them, you don't have an agenda, right? You're there to serve people and understand how you can serve them as a human being, and not as a Juice Plus rep. People are so wired today, on Facebook and phones and everything, that they really lack for human interaction. And when people provide that sense of the interaction and intent to serve, they really embrace that. They are surprised sometimes, but I think that's our opportunity, is to connect with people as people and not, as electronics, which is really easy to do. And be vulnerable. And that's always a weakness of mine as a leader in an technology environment. As a woman, you got to be strong and you got to be tough. And so for me to try to change that and to be a softer person is a challenge for me. But it's something that I've definitely noticed this week is different. We just moved into a new community. We had an open house on Saturday for our new neighbors, because we hadn't met anybody yet. And so we had about 25 new people in our house that I'd never met before. And so spent a lot of time just asking questions. I didn't bring up Juice Plus with anybody, talked a little bit vaguely about what we do. But it was really great at making connections with people. And now we've got a bunch of people who want to continue to engage with us and build relationships as we go forward. But it was really fun, actually, to just meet these people and have a really good time and understand what their issues and challenges were, and to be present in the conversation and not worrying about what the next step was. One of the things I took away from conference 2 was, think about how people feel after they're with you. Everybody take a second. Like, when people are with you, what do they feel when you leave them? Right? That is your trademark, right? And that really hit home with me, that, wow, if I leave people and they're like, well, who was that? And what does she need? And why is she here? Then I didn't serve them at all. But if I leave them with enthusiasm and passion and excitement, then they're going to want to be around me more. So that was really exciting, and I definitely changed my approach to engaging with people, which was a lot of fun. As Caprice mentioned, I'm engaging more on Facebook. I used to do a lot of just scrolling through other people's posts, but now I'm finding a way to make a connection, commenting on something, bringing up past memory, trying to make connections with people. And this week, so Misha Ray's in Colorado. She's down south tonight. She was up in my area earlier today, and so I went to her talk earlier in the day. And as I was inviting for that, I did all of that through text and Facebook Messenger. And inviting is my weakness. That's the thing I know I need to work the best at. But the responses I got from people was definitely different than I've gotten before. I think because the way I engaged them was like, oh, I thought of you because, or this is up your alley, or things that really spoke to them. And so people were really engaged and wanted to know more about this event and what was going on. So I definitely saw a difference in that whole exchange, and had a lot better results in that whole inviting process. One of the other things that came to me at the event was, speaking to people in the language, or speaking in the language of the person you want to become, right? Dream a little bit more. What are the things that you want in life? We get so stuck into our daily routine that we forget about what's in front of us and where we want to go. And if we can get that back into our forefront, then it will help us to think about our goals more, and actually really be resourceful with what we need as we move forward. A lot of the women there, people might call them crazy, right, at this event, but it's not really crazy in the normal sense, but it was really that, you know, people think that we're crazy because of the business that we do, because we're in this network marketing industry. But, you know, if you think about it, people just want you to be normal, and normal means ordinary. And I don't think any of us want an ordinary life. And so when people start to think that we're crazy or weird or why are we doing this odd business, we just need to realize that, you know, we're doing it because we want an odd life, in the fact that we don't want an ordinary life, right? We want something different for ourselves. So just keep going, and you will attract the people that you want in your downline, right? If you are the person you want to attract, then you will attract those people. So, you know, keep stepping out of your comfort zone, you know, stop being ordinary, which I don't think any of us are, and you will be able to build a great business with some not so ordinary people. One of the other takeaways I had was around kids. I think Caprice mentioned it a little bit about, you know, we have all these responsibilities and we use that as an excuse to move our businesses forward. But, you know, one of the things that hit home for me was, you know, just given our busy life, is if you make excuses for not doing your business, then your kids will learn that excuses are okay, right? So use them as a reason, and segment your time with your business and your kids, so that, you know, when it's business time, the kids understand that. But then also, when you have time reserved for them, you know, make sure they see you turning down phone calls and saying, no, this is my special time for you, so that they understand that, you know, you're working hard, but you're also working for them, and that you are there for them as well. So a good way to segment the two. And I've done that, you know, the last week or so with my kids, and kind of been very intentional about time I set aside for them versus my business. And I've seen a different dynamic in the family, which has been great. And that's allowed me to keep moving forward with the inviting and the business activity this week as well. And then the one last thing that I thought was really cool, you know, I think I've heard from every rep I've talked to, is that my husband wasn't supportive at the beginning. So-and-so wasn't supportive of me. My family doesn't support me. But think about this as, instead of asking for support, give them a reason to cheer you on, right? Do they know why you're doing this? And if you come home with a $300 check or a $500 check, they might stand up and pay attention. So stop worrying about getting support from people just because you ask, but do something that's going to enable them to cheer you on and help you be successful. And, you know, I've definitely changed my mindset a little bit there too. My husband is already on board, but, you know, he is my biggest cheerleader, and, you know, looking forward to working with him more, and, you know, really helping others step into that mindset as well. So Lisa, I think that's it.
Cheryl, that was great. Thank you so much. I love just hearing the shifts that you're making. It's awesome. I mean, that's, for me as a leader, that's my greatest joy, is seeing you guys grow into the amazing people that you are meant to become. So I want to quickly go over to Corrine, who is a sales coordinator in Sandy Abrams' team, and she was sweet enough, juggling her busy life, to also agree to come on and share. So Corrine, I would love for you to take a few minutes, and we're probably going to go over on this call, you guys, but I think you'll all agree that it's worth it. And I think when we all hear from each other, that's when we learn the most. So Corrine, take it away, girl. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. So first, this was my first time ever being to this event, but not my first exposure with the network marketing pro. And so I kind of took things with a grain of salt and just took it in, and then came home and dived in really into my notes and was really plugged into the atmosphere as well, which is amazing. So Lisa asked me to, go over some of the takeaways that I, took away, and then also what I'm applying. So one of the things that I heard from every single one of them was they were talking about social media, right? And the power of it. And then also like how it can basically just be catastrophic to your business as well. So I immediately, after I first heard the talk about social media, so what did they talk about? They talked about not vomiting your product on Facebook, right? Instead, really putting out your brand. And like, if you're getting your brand across, then you're going to share the product through relationships, through offline, right? Like either through Messenger or meeting somebody for coffee or going for a jog or playing tennis. That's when they're going to get to know about your product. So I immediately, I think it was like day one, maybe day two, I immediately got on my phone when I had a moment, and I just started going through my Facebook, and oh my gosh, I was like just diarrhea of Juice Plus everywhere, right? So I just started cleaning it up. And I mean, I've heard it before, but when you hear a good group of 7-8 figure, women, income earning women saying this over and over and over again, it finally sunk in. And sometimes I learn things the hard way. So, so I started cleaning that up. So I would encourage you guys, share it, yes, but not to post it overly on our social media, and to really make sure that we're taking those conversations offline. And if we can, having a physical, like, in-person, relationship with that person, like meeting them for coffee or tennis or, working out or whatever that may be. The second thing that I took away was events, and not necessarily basing your events off your actual product, but basing events off of your brand and what support your product, right? So my brand is, I'm a fitness guru, and I'm still trying to figure out how that ties in with Juice Plus without saying Juice Plus. But I came home last week, and already I have my first event called Fundamentals of Healthy Living, a 4-part series that not only did I set up, it's going to be going every week for 4 weeks for an hour and a half. It's going to be in my home and also live stream available for those who can't make it in my home. And I went through Eventbrite, right? So I got the opportunity to talk to a few ladies on my own. And some of them were encouraging me to take some of my events off of Facebook event and doing an Eventbrite, because some people can't get, they're not getting that information if they're not on Facebook, and it looks a little more professional. And I gotta say, after doing it myself, it does look a little bit more professional. So I'm doing that, and that starts in 2 weeks is week 1. It actually goes right up to the weekend before a conference. So it's gonna be really, really awesome. The next one was energy, and somebody already talked about energy. There's this phrase that I have now. It's on my phone, and it's I have a daily journal that I write in, and it says, be super bad all day long. And if you were there, you know what that means. And it just means be awesome. Your energy, what you project, is what drives towards you. So, appreciate your tribe. Look around. If you don't like what you see, then look in the mirror, and that's where you got to start. Be confident and be intentional with your conversations. At lunchtime, we had an opportunity, I think her name was Lisa, she came and sat down with our table and did this exercise with us, which was amazing, where she basically shared, you get 90 seconds with a person in front of you before you lose their attention span. Don't waste 45 seconds with small talk. Ask a specific question. I believe it was, she asked, what's your name and what's one thing that a friend doesn't know about you, right? Whoa, intense. Made me even sit there and think, because I'm an open book. So, but that then stuck in her brain, right? Because it was off the wall. Like somebody was, loved singing music, like Disney princess music, and you look at her and you're like, really? I would never think that. But it was also a great icebreaker, and it created great conversation that lasted longer than 90 seconds that would have been spent over small talk. How many kids do you have? Where do you live? Blah, 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 blah. That's all awesome, but let's, have a more fun conversation right off to the point. And also, you make a statement when you walk away. Somebody else said, your impression of what you leave with that person as you walk away, you want it to be good. You want them to feel good when you walk away. That when she left the table, I felt really, really awesome. So she really just left a mark, in my life on that. So so make sure that you don't go crazy on Facebook. Post more lifestyle stuff. Make sure you have events that are actually in your home or going somewhere. Stepiana, I can't remember her last name, but she's from Italy. It was really encouraging, you guys. She shared her first picture, or her first event, a picture. There was 4 or 5 people, and she says the only people that are taking notes are the toddlers. And then the next event is big. I mean, big. And she applied Eric Worre's method of 90 days, working up to that event. And so I didn't do that, but I took her drive is like, you know what, you got to have your first one, because if you don't have your first one, then you're never going to have your awesome second one. So I already know, you know, this one is going to be great. So I encourage you all, if you don't have a big event going, just do it. I used to think that, oh, I need an NMD and I need a David Phillips and I need a, you know, I needed this and I needed that and blah, 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 blah. And now I'm just like, forget it, because I don't have that where I live, and I'm a military spouse. So I'm going to create my own and do it on my own and share the information that I have and really inspire others around the world to get healthy, to make simple changes, and also to, you know, to educate them about Juice Plus as well. So that was my takeaway. I know it was supposed to be like 4 to 5 minutes, but everybody kind of covered already what I was going to say.
No, that was awesome. Awesome, Corrine. Thank you so much. And I'm so proud of you for putting together that event. That is great. I can't wait to hear how that goes for you. That is a big move on your part. So as we close tonight, because we're right at 6:30, I want to share with you guys a gift that we're going to be posting on the Heat team. And this actually came from Denny Christensen, who was really an inspiring woman and strong 7-figure income earner in the industry for a long time. Really had so many wise things to share. And many of you that were there may remember that she put a picture of a success tracker up on the screen. And, you know, honestly, you guys, what this business comes down to is the day-to-day consistency of doing the activity that pays us, the 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And so what Donna Wiss, who's a sales coordinator, senior sales coordinator, on my team, did for us, she just got it to me today, so Nikki, I'm going to post this when we're done, is she put together a version of this success tracker exactly the way it looks. So all of you guys who really want to move forward and really feel that you need this accountability tool, which I frankly think we all need, that will be posted on the Heat team page tonight, and then you can share it with your respective team members. And, you know, she said something that night that I really, really urge you guys to think about as you go forward with your week, as you go out and share, as you get ready for conference. And that is, how many success stories do you need to hear before you write your own? And I know a couple of the women just talked about the mindset and the shift and really thinking bigger. I really encourage you guys to sit down this week with a pen, with paper, and write the story of the life that you want to have. She did that on a run, and it really, that vision carried her all the way to the top. So how many success stories do you need to hear before you write your own? So with that, I want to thank Caprice, Cheryl, and Corrine again. This was so great to hear from you guys. And get in touch with your upline NMD if you want tickets for next year, because we are in the process of getting feedback about that. And we can't wait to see you guys in Anaheim, and everybody have a great night.
If you guys want to unmute yourselves and give a big, whoops, everybody's gone, I think. Give a big cheer for Lisa. That would be great.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job to all of you, Caprice.
Yeah, it was a great job.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Sky G is just like that. Ooh.